Good afternoon, everyone. We're here from the Hynes Convention Center in Boston, Mass. We're at the Small Business Expo 2017, and we're here interviewing Fred Wilcon of the law offices of Fred B. Wilcon. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Glad to be here. How are you?
Good, good. Have you hit a lot of booths yet?
Just started.
Just starting. So Fred is here today to join us to talk a little bit about business formation, some things going on in the business world. Fred, why don't you tell us, if a new prospect came to you, there's certainly a lot of startups here, how you take them from the ground up?
Well, the first thing I try to do, of course, is find out what business he's interested in doing and what the risks of the business are, what the advantages of the business are, and so forth. And then we talk about structure. That's one of the first things we talk about. And there are various forms of structures you can use, starting from a no structure, just being yourself in business, and all you have to do is file a DBA, doing business certificate, so that the town knows where you are and who you are, all the way up to a corporation. Nowadays, the most popular way to start is with what's called a limited liability company. And that's basically a hybrid between a corporation and a no-tax partnership or self-tax person. The advantages of, I don't know if I'm talking too fast, but the advantages of it are that it has limited liability just as a corporation does. That is, if you sign a lease or if you purchase something with a contract or you're involved in a transaction and you sign as the manager of the limited liability company called an LLC, and something goes wrong, you personally are not at fault, it's your company. So that shields your personal pocketbook from the liabilities of your company. That's the advantage of it vis-a-vis liability status in the world. But in addition to that, you don't have to pay two levels of taxation. If you check off the box when you form it, all the income and all the losses will flow through to you personally, so you don't have a double level of taxation. Saves tax money. It also allows you to write off a lot of stuff that may or may not be personal. We'll get to that in quiet confidence. But it is a good tax structure.
And boy, working in the business insurance field, I can truthfully tell you that when people start out on a good note, meaning they know their exposure, they know what they're going to do, even if they make a decision to be a sole proprietor, at least they know they're not covered or there's exposure to them.
That's another thing I always find useful to say. When people start a real estate business also, a limited liability company is the thing to do. But I always tell them you should also have liability insurance. Not only because if something happens, the liability insurance will cover you and pay the judgment. You don't even want to get there. But it'll defend you. And that can cost you more than you have at stake in the judgment. So within reason, if the policy is a good one, you've got a defense there. You don't have to go out and hire me again to defend you. I'm more expensive.